Hey everyone, Todd here, internalarchitect.com. In this video, we're going to talk about riding the wave. Now, before I begin, please hit subscribe below and hit the bell for notifications so you know when I put out a new video. Ride the wave. Now, I've had a pretty trying last 72 hours, and I needed a way to kind of rationalize and understand all the different pieces and parts that were going on. I think if you all watched the last video, I have kind of announced that my father has passed away, and on top of it, going through cancer for the next time. This is kind of a 9 years later type of thing, having a reoccurrence, and all these things just kind of have compounded into a just a mental mess of craziness that's just going on, and it's hard to explain. It's hard to really to share with you all the different feelings and emotions that are kind of just running through my head. Now, the stuff with my dad, obviously, my father was suffering from a disease called IPF, which is a lung issue, and it's a respiratory disease that happens, and he's been dealing with this for about 8 years now, and he's just been fighting it and fighting it and fighting it, and just in this last weekend he finally succumbed to it, and it wasn't totally unexpected, but it still hurts, right? So you add that to the stuff that's going on with all my cancer, and you just kind of got to take a moment. And this is why I really tried to come up with an analogy that really kind of makes sense, because ride the wave is really a great way to explain just how you kind of can deal with adversity when it all comes up, especially when you have multiple things happening all at the same time. I think when I thought of it this way, it's kind of like, our life has all these ups and downs, right? And sometimes the water's super flat and just super mellow, and it just kind of goes, and just it's there's no waves, there's nothing going on, it's pretty predictable. And then there are times where the ocean gets absolutely chaotic, and just chaos ensures, and then it just becomes it's unpredictable, and there's too many things going on. You're going up and you're going down, there's these highs, and then there's these super low troughs, and it just kind of continues this process, right? And I think this is why I wanted to use this analogy, because when you're diagnosed with cancer, you are just like, you're kind of freaking out, right? I mean, your emotions just are taking a toll. You're dealing with your own mortality. You have so much fear going on. You don't really know what to say. You don't know how to explain this to family. And then you start questioning a lot of the things, like, why me? Why does this have to happen to me? And why is this happening? Your friends might be saying, why is this happening to such a good person? Why can't this happen to, like, all the bad people out there, the murderers, the drug dealers, the people that just don't care, and whatever. And you kind of got to take that step back, and you have to kind of take a moment and really assess kind of where you're at the moment. And this is a really tough thing to do, because you just, when you first are diagnosed, you're just dealing with so many emotions and so many you're running so many different scenarios in your head, and it's hard to really kind of piece it all together and make it all work. So the easiest way is to simplify kind of the whole process, right? And that's why I wanted to use the wave of life, or ride the wave, to really help understand that when you are going through all these challenges, when you are dealing with the fear and the anxiety that comes along with just cancer in itself, that you have to remember that there's a very good chance that this is just a bump in the road, that this is just another chapter that you are going through in your life. At the time, and when you're living in the moment, it's really hard to see it this way, and it's really easy to start thinking about all the bad things that can happen in the future. It's critical to to turn that mindset into a growth mindset and really start working on what it takes to kind of just take it day to day and treatment to treatment. And then you're able to start kind of assessing and dealing with the fear and the emotions at that time. I think when you start throwing on the other heavy bricks that go along, like a death in the family, while you're going through treatment, it really is a challenge for yourself to get yourself together and to really, it's a challenge to overcome it, because when you deal with, say, a death in the family, say in my case, my father passed away. How do you deal with the loss when you're already frustrated and exhausted from dealing with the treatment and dealing with the emotional toll that it takes on you to go through and try to beat cancer at the same time? And I think the easiest way to explain it is, it's amazing what a growth mindset can do to someone that is willing to make it as best of a situation and scenario as possible. So I think that's really kind of how I wanted to really explain this to you all, is no matter how crazy and how unforgiving life is seeming at the time, take some moments to really assess your situation and assess the needs of the people that are around you, and your own needs also, and start to kind of create a hierarchy of what's important, I guess, and just remember to just take the time to work on these things. This is a constant thing. Once you're diagnosed with cancer, you're going to be challenged at every turn, and I think it's a good way to help prepare you for the other crazy things that go on, because essentially, you're finding out, oh, I got cancer now. Oh shit, my fucking father just passed away, or my mother just passed away. It's going to continue to keep adding weight to your shoulders, and it's going to feel heavy, and you have to work through it. And whether that is writing stuff down, doing some mind mapping work, whatever it takes, just you have to do it, and you have to spend the time to do it. It's important to also not overdo yourself and overextend yourself, because it's really easy to fall down that rabbit hole of depression, and that's the last thing that you want when you're going through cancer. So yeah, just take your time, try to be as productive as you can as you're feeling up to, but you have to get out and you have to do some things that are going to benefit you and help get you through each treatment and help kind of get you into that recovery period that happens as you are moving forward. So yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Just as life gets crazy, things just become a challenge, and to be able to deal with them mentally on an individual basis per thing, and to allow yourself the grieving that may need to come along with certain situations, and to quit asking questions that you may never get answers to, and be okay with that, is really the huge part of moving forward with everything that's going on with all the challenges that cancer brings. So I'm going to stop rambling. I could keep going on, but I think you guys get the gist of what I'm trying to say. So I just want to say thank you for watching the video. I appreciate your time and energy into watching them. And, if you have any questions or comments, obviously hit me in the comment section below, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. And yeah, I'm just going to continue trying to put out videos every couple days, just to, kind of share of what's going on with me right now. So, and just real quick, I am 8 days away from my next treatment cycle. So one step at a time, right? So awesome, guys. Thank you again, and I will see you on the next video.